My name is Dan Henry, and I want to reminisce about the river crew and the work they did on the St. Lawrence River at Dodges Bay. I worked there about 10 years, so I've seen a lot of changes that took place when the Seaway and power development were being developed. And right here we got Roy Martin working with the dynamite. They used a lot of that dynamite to blast ice in the St. Lawrence River. And once they put a cap in that dynamite, they were set to go. I think they were blasting here over by Long Sioux Island, just above the weir. You see these caps he's putting in now. When they put the cap in the dynamite, it's ready to go. That guy's carrying enough to blow him from here to somewhere else. There's Jimmy Martin. He's hooking up the wires to the cable that they used that went to a plunger. Then they got back away from there, and the guy pushed the plunger, and up she'd go. They always had to cut a hole through the ice and drop the dynamite through and let it go down maybe 10 foot or so, and then they'd get back, and that's Carl Dignan that's using the plunger right there. And you'd see the blast go, and the ice would fly, and sometimes they would even get some fish, I guess. They had those spuds at it that would cut the hole through the ice. Here comes Ray Cross and some of the boys. Once this ice got loosened up, it went over the weir. They didn't want to plug up the canal. They used to plug up the canal, and they wouldn't get enough water through to produce power. So that was their main job, of blasting this ice and sending it down over the weir and down the south channel of the St. Lawrence River. At one time they had about 16, 18 men working there. Near the end there was only about 6 or 8 of us. A lot of times before this, they used to break a lot of that ice with the tugs they had out there. The old ice would fly up there, wouldn't it? Pretty good. And that's the weir right there. And this is a good old winter scene. You'd see cold winter days. We could look out there, and we had to keep fires going on the tugs. And we worked the shift work, and we always had to have them ready in the morning when the day crew come on. You can see I got her pretty well warmed up right there. The steam is coming out. And this looks like a summertime, and they're coaling up one of the tugs, the hoops. That was coal fired, so they had 2 bunkers in there that they had to fill up with coal. There's Dale Robertson. He found a 5-gallon jug there, and they're looking it over. Maybe they found some gold or something. Well, that was a beautiful summer job, I'll tell you. But the winter, it was pretty cold out there, and they had a hard job in the winter. It looks like they're going to move the tugs back over and tie them up at where they kept the dredge. No, it's a Ricky. The tug Ricky is pulling the hoops. Pretty scene up through there, isn't it? And they're bringing their tugs back over, and they tied them up there at the dredge. It looks like the boys are doing a little spring cleaning here. Max Robinson and Roy Martin. He's trying to get me wet too. Well, just before they started tearing up these farms and stuff, they burnt hay, grass. Here comes Bob Northrop up through it. Just on think of his retirement day. He worked there about 40 years before I ever went there. You can see the crew going over on the dredge now. They're probably going to go somewhere with the tugs. Looks like they got chain falls and stuff like that. They're going to go up and do something at the scow line. Yeah, they just started the Ricky up. So they're going to make a trip up the river. I can't get over how pretty that is right there, and it was a beautiful place to work. Some of the people that worked out there was Charlie Blair, probably had 55 years with Alcoa. Les Sheets, Bob Northrop, Art Talcott, Ray Woods, Ray Cross and Jimmy Cross, Harlan Martin, Roy Martin, Anson Uyghur, Dale and Max Robinson, Charlie Murphy, Dan and Jim Henry, Fred Carbonell, Whitney Campbell, and Ernie Klein. Probably a few names I've forgotten, but boy, they had a lot of swift water up there by those piers. The purpose of those pontoons was to divert the ice down through what they call the Snai, over towards the Canadian side of the island. And the ice would probably go down over Long Sault Rapids. Ray looking the situation over. Quite a bit of bulwark though, pulling on cables and big heavy cables. But they held back a lot of ice. They're loosening up a clamp right now. And the cable would whip through, and the boom logs would flow back. Well, being a watchman, I didn't have to go up and do all that bulwark. You can see them pulling on chain falls right there, so they can loosen it, pull those pontoons in so they could get the cable off of there, so they'd swing down. There they go now. They loosen one end. Quite a string. When I first went there, they were all wooden scows, but later on they got all steel scows, which made it a lot easier. The old wooden ones leaked a lot and they had to be pumped. And these steel pontoons, you never had to pump them. They were good. They're coming down with a set of pontoons right now. Probably just drifting downriver.